It's your boy Cash Clay Beats, Grammy-nominated platinum producer, and you just skipped class. I just skipped class with the progress report. It's going down. Hey.
Man, it's your boy DubMagic from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I just skipped class with the motherfucking progress report,
Hey.
nigga.
Let's go. The progress report.
All right, what's going on? It's your girl Lala Shepherd. This is another episode of Skipping Class, man. I'm super honored, man. I got two heavy hitter producers in the building, man. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
DubMagic, super producer. Got my brother with me.
You already know Cash Clay Beats.
Okay.
We Grammy-nominated platinum producers.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Y'all produce some major records, man. Racks like this for K-Camp, and then one of my personal favorites, you know, that Kelly Price for Migos and Travis Scott. And then I told y'all I had a story for y'all. So
Yeah.
with that record with the Kelly Price joint, so I was in the DR with Quavo. We was filming a music video, and he kept playing that shit. He kept playing the Kelly Price. This is right before the album dropped, so I'm like, bro, what the fuck is that? I'm trying to do the Shazam, the shit ain't working. I ended up breaking down like, bro, what the fuck is that shit? He's like, it's gonna be on the project. Still one of my favorite fucking records.
That's
so,
crazy.
Big salute. Appreciate
You heard
y'all
it before
being
me
here.
then.
Yeah, probably. He kept playing. I'm like, bro, that shit hard as fuck.
I ain't hear it till the album came, so that's a whole different, you know.
Nah,
but
for
hey,
sure.
that's the biggest records we got right now on the
Huge.
Grammy. It was Grammy nominated, and we got platinum plaque, gold plaques, you know, everything that came with it. #1 album. Shout out to all the Migos guys.
Show.
We want you to come skip class with us and share your story on our new segment called Skipping Class.
Look, we want to talk to all the artists, indie or mainstream, or if you're an entrepreneur, come build your brand with us and tell your story to the world.
You'll also get the shot in our locker, and you'll get promo clips for all your fans. So DM us today or visit our website, tprmediagroup.com. Get locked in with us.
Yes, sir.
Now, most recently, y'all produced the Hurricane Chris, My Bay record.
Yeah.
For sure. And you know, that's what we're here today to talk about all the drama, the misconceptions, and we're gonna clear the air, you know, surrounding all that good stuff. Because the song, it samples, you know, Tony's anniversary, as well as Hurricane Chris's A Bay Bay. All right? Now, for the record, what's the total impression numbers, you know, on social media, on TikTok right now?
The impression numbers is crazy.
I know
I
y'all
can't
know
even,
it.
I can't even really tell you the TikTok, but
Okay.
I can tell you like I mean, when the Shade Room posted it off rip in less than 24 hours, it was like 4 million and 20,000 comments.
It's up there.
And like I haven't I kind of be paying attention to a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I can't even really tell you when the last time they posted something that had that type of impressions on their Instagram. So to me, in my personal opinion, that feels like the record meant something. The overall impact of the song, it held weight.
Big respect.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask y'all, I want y'all to talk about producing this record and talk about the sampling process, because it's two records within that record. Talk about that.
So, okay, it's a lot with this, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just talk about our process with what we did with Hurricane Chris actually. I only sampled Tony and his actual voice from the A Bay Bay record.
Gotcha.
To bypass a lot of clearances and a lot of excess BS that may come with this, you know, putting that record out and clearing it. So I only sampled Tony and Hurricane Chris. With that being said, you know, we put the record out, we came together to put it together. I actually influenced him to put it out because he was kind of like, I don't know, I want to put out these other records. I've been working with Hurricane for like since 2015. So we'd have a lot of music we put together, but I kind of influenced him. Long story short, I kind of influenced him to put it out, and I only sampled Tony and his record.
Got you. And of course, we're gonna talk about Hurricane and a
sure.
little bit
For
more
sure.
about you guys.
I ain't want to get
first.
ahead of myself.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
We rocking.
It's all good. Now, I want to talk about, you know, accusations of people stealing, you know, a record, and who is this lady, Kia?
So Kia is, I think she's dope. From my understanding of what she does, she's a DJ.
Gotcha.
And I think she's dope. She's from New Jersey.
Right.
All of my family is from New Jersey. Jersey City. My blood brother was born in Bayonne, New Jersey. All my family's from Jersey. I mess with my OGs is the biggest hip hop group that ever came out of New Jersey, Naughty by Nature. Like Jersey rock with me. I love Jersey to death. My cousins, everybody's in Jersey. But anyway, she's from Jersey, and they have this thing called it's like a Jersey bounce, a Jersey dance type feel. And I can't speak too much on it because I don't know. I'm not from that background, but at the end of the day, I've heard it before. I've been up there with a couple of DJs and did interviews and stuff like that. But they have their own bounce, their own sound, their own wave, and it's crack. It's dope. I love it to death. And that's what she did with the original mix, which is the sample of Tony, Tony, Tony. If I'm not saying her name wrong, it's Kaya, the My Neck, My Back girl that made that song, My Neck, My Back.
Big Florida legend.
For sure. And Hurricane Chris. And she took those blends along with some other DJs blends and put them all together. So she put them together and I thought it was dope off rip. So that's who she is, and it's so much into it to break down, but I don't want to go straight into it without you asking me certain questions.
No,
but
respect.
that's who she is and that's what she did, and she's dope for that. But there's a lot of stuff behind it that I feel like people that's not in the music business don't understand, everything behind it. And
Got you.
it's a lot behind it. So I'm gonna let you kind of break down what you're gonna ask, and I'm gonna go ahead and break it down, me and Cash.
And we do want to shout them out because they got it
For
popping.
sure.
Everybody doing it. We got Kevin Hart, all the biggest names doing that dance, and it really got cracking on social media. And we get paid from TikTok. So as an as a producer, you get paid from TikTok. I get statements from
SoundCloud.
TikTok, all that stuff. So the compositions that they did, Hurricane Chris getting paid, Tony getting paid, to even have that type of music on that platform for you to even mess with it to begin with. So let's get that straight from the.
We're gonna get a
beginning.
lot straight, but
You
I'm
know what I'm
gonna
saying?
let you ask, and I'm gonna iron that shit out with a big ass iron.
We
Fuck us
ironing
up.
today,
You
baby.
know what I'm saying?
But we paying respect to everybody. Appropriately.
sure.
With what you did, and TikTok pays too. I got artists that get paid straight directly from TikTok for what you do on your page, for the content. You know what I'm saying? So.
Sure.
How did this joint go viral though?
All right, so it went viral by this phenomenal young kid, man. This kid is so dope, and it just reminds me of me when I was young. Just had so much life and energy and just love doing what you doing. And from what I see, he loved dancing, and it's like he started dancing. That dance actually came from fraternities, doing steps and stuff like that, from what a lot of people told me. But I'm not taking away from him. What he did was everything. That's the only reason why the record is where it's at, is because of this kid by the name of Juby Too Fire. He's the dopest, and he's humble. I've seen his interview on, I think it was Morning CBS, but it was on a news channel. I've seen his interview. He's humble. He's dope. He actually, I told Kane, Hurricane Chris, we need him for this video. We need him for this video. And he made it happen. And he came to the video, and he was in the video and did his dance. But Juby Too Fire is the original person that made this thing viral. The step dance, you see Kevin Hart, Shaq, Tia Maui, who took my soul, and I seen her do that. I was like, oh shit. But he was the main one that made that thing viral overall.
Big respect, and I salute how y'all give credit to the dancers because they are a huge part of a lot of social media success, and some people try to count them out. Now, speaking of the music video, some people want to know why wasn't the young lady Kia in the video?
So with Kia, that's a great question. It was a lot going on, I think, between her and the artist Hurricane Chris, because I've talked to her and she mentioned me on the Shade Room when she said I talked to his producer. She was talking about me because I initially DM'd her first. I was like, hey, I can't tell you the exact words, but it was somewhere in this circle. I was like, hey, Kia, you dope. I like what you did. I'm a producer. I produced the version that Hurricane Chris put out. And, Hurricane has a team that uploads his content, stuff like that. So I told her like, hey, we made sure we put your name on the actual audio track that he put out on YouTube before the video came out. The actual audio track, I made sure I put your name on there, and she mentioned all of that on the Shade Room when she talked about our conversation, and you know. But as far as her why she wasn't in the video, I think it was more so between her and Hurricane Chris conversation, which I had nothing to do with. You know, as far as knowing exactly what was said word for word, we would have to ask Hurricane Chris for him to explain his side and her side or whatever the case may be. But Hurricane pretty much knows the whole detail about that. But I think that played 99.9% of the reason why she didn't have nothing to do with the video. But at the end of the day, you know, salute to her, you know. But at the end of the day, I feel like it had a lot to do with, like, for me having minor conversations with him, I feel like it had a lot to do with her not paying homage and feeling entitled to owning a record that she doesn't own. And that's a whole nother topic, like, that I feel like any upcoming producer, artist, or anybody that deals with a young OG such as Hurricane Chris, or anybody else that's a celebrity, they need to pay homage and respect these guys that actually made the original content, from Tony to Hurricane Chris to I keep saying her name wrong, Kaya. You gotta respect these people that made that original content. That's their content. Nobody can say they own their content. They made that during their time of their peak career. That's their stuff. And us as creative individuals that sample their stuff, we need to always pay homage. And that's for any young producer and artist that's coming up. You always got to show homage, pay homage, and show respect to them. Because if you don't, it will backfire on your ass. And when it backfires on your ass, the crying and the hoop and hollering, the people not going to follow you because it's not your content. So,
and just to chime in on everything, you got to be respectful. Like I said, when we did the Kelly Price record with Migos and Travis Scott, we didn't know nothing about that record until it was dropped to the whole world knew. Sometimes you don't know. I don't go on the internet blasting. I didn't blast Migos about that. We got the work done. I talked to some OGs. We got the work done, that, you know, behind the scene, and we kept our name good. So everything's still good. So you don't want to burn no bridges when you coming at people calling goofy, and you saying certain names that ain't finna fly with certain people that really ain't. They not just artists, you know. They real live people.
Real
right?
niggas.
You call somebody goofy, what you think gonna happen? Like, we not respecting that. You feel me? Now you come up on some business or some professional level, are we gonna respect that? You feel what I'm saying? And you don't have really like a power to say, come here and shoot this and run this by me before you put it out. And that's where the issues get kind of, you know.
That's really where majority of it came from, was kind of her, and she put out the statement, so it's not like I'm spilling out beans about a private conversation with her and Hurricane.
Right, that's where I heard it from.
Yeah, she put it on Shade Room, like, you know, he put this record out without my consent when I respectfully asked him to let me hear it first. It's like,
Hurricane he ain't even like that. Like, he gonna respect everybody.
That's a humble nigga right there. You know what I'm saying? I've been working with that nigga since 2015, right. Since I was broke. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so I really don't appreciate like somebody blasting somebody like that. You feel me? There's a lot of other people that I've experienced that I won't talk about that's like that. Yeah. But Hurricane Chris ain't like that.
He ain't like that.
He's farthest from that. So something had to go wrong behind the scene for him to make whatever decision he was gonna make, and he didn't have to include her, but he did reach out. So if you couldn't make it, maybe
it's
that's
a
on
reason
you.
behind that
or
shit.
If I could invite all your friends, you could have came by yourself. Or we could have figured out something else, or I could have sent you some video footage and got the jersey. We love the Jersey community, we love everybody. So we could have made it work. And I feel like when people call shots, if certain people, like, especially
to the original creator. You call shots to the original creator, like, hey, you need to go through me because I made it, I put it together.
Like that.
And then you didn't even make it viral. The kid made it viral. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for you to call shots to him saying, I needed approval before you put it out.
That ain't gonna work like that.
You know what I'm saying?
There's plenty
like,
DJs that DJ every day on the radio
At
and
night.
put stuff together, mix stuff. If I take that record, if I say, oh, that's a great idea, I'm gonna use that and put this mix together that somebody on the radio did,
that you don't own that.
I don't. You don't own it. I don't own it. You still
Yeah.
got. You still. We have to get records cleared. Labels got to get records cleared when you're dealing with samples. So if you're doing something on TikTok, that's already cleared because TikTok paid them artists to clear this for you to be able to use it anyway. So just know what you're doing as far as like if you're trying to
Pop your shit.
pop your
Know
shit,
what
hold
you
your
talking
nuts on
about.
somebody's neck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
in this case, hold your titties.
You hold your titties on somebody's neck. You have to know what you're talking about, or you're gonna sound stupid. And if you look at, we rock with her. That's why we telling you this because if you look at the comments,
tough love.
look at the comments.
Oh yeah, the comments, yeah, facts.
They're not on your side. So you're looking like you don't know what you're talking
Plum
about.
fool.
Like,
Right.
but we really want to incorporate you because you're dope, and we probably could still work in the future. That's the type of people we are.
Nah, big respect. Trust me, I definitely saw the comments, and that's what I even say it myself. I'm like, you know, is whose record is at the end of the day. You know,
Right.
when we talking about sampling and clearances, unless you're in a business, you got to understand how shit go.
Right.
And I wanted to know, at what point did you guys decide to make an actual record? I thought that was very smart, and that was the perfect way to capitalize off the moment. But when did y'all decide to make My Bay a legit record?
So, I've seen a couple of clips already. Just being at home, minding my business, you know what I'm saying? Playing the game, kicking it. I seen some clips and I was like, I called Hurricane FaceTime. I'm like, bro, you see what's going on with your voice. And it's not just your voice, it's other people included, but it's like they're naming this Hurricane Chris A. Bay dance. So that to me as a producer and a songwriter clicked in my head like, okay, we need to do something to this to take it to the next level because it can be dope for the moment, but if we make a record with the actual artist, it'll be forever. Right. So I said, okay, Hurricane Chris, I FaceTimed him. It's like I FaceTimed him when y'all pulled up, when y'all came to the whip, we was outside. That's my brother. I talked to him many times, whatever. I said, bro, we need to make a record of this. And to be honest, he wasn't even like, he was like, okay, cool, we could do something. And then he recorded it, did his thing. It seemed like he didn't really want to push with it because we have so many records together, you know what I'm saying? He has a lot to tell with his story, especially with a lot that's going on with him right now.
Going on.
If y'all Google and know what's
Yeah.
up, he has a lot to tell. So it was like he wanted to kind of focus on other things, but I'm stressing to him like, bro, this is a way to be able to let the people know that you are a young legend. We could make something dope because we're not gonna drop the ball. He is a legendary dope artist. Regardless of the era he came out in, he's dope. He can actually spit bars, make great music that he has made. And I said, let's do it. So, you know, we did it. Long story short, he wasn't really pressing to push it out, but I had to kind of push and get on his ass like, bro, let's put this out. And I give him full credit for that video. That video, when he sent me the copy back, like, what you think, Dub? I'm like,
Crazy.
Fire.
I said,
Crazy.
bro,
Out
you
of
got
number one.
you got the
Number one.
the gay stuff in here. You got love. There's no violence. There's no shooting. There's not a single cuss word. He said, Dub, make the clean version. I said, nigga, you ain't even cussing the whole song.
Facts.
I said, bro, this shit is ready. So when we made a DJ service packet, we ain't have to make a clean version. I said the video, like, it touches people's soul, and his fans that rock with him from the early 2000s that did the Holly Berry dance and A Bay and the hey, everything else, they loved it. And if you look at the comments from Shade Room to the comments on the video, they love him and appreciate him for doing that and actually appreciate him for making non-violent music. So it went from just, long story short, went from me hitting him like, bro, let's do it. And he was with it. He always shows me the respect as a producer to do something. And then when I made the beat, I started on the beat, I included Cash Clay, Grammy nominated, platinum. Where could you go wrong?
We out of here.
Period.
You can't go wrong. So, I mean, a Grammy nominated platinum producer, he put his sauce on top of it and made it like really what it is, like with his approval, with his added sounds and his drum patterns and taking and moving stuff around that I did from the dolls we used to make beats. Like he was the icing on the cake, and like I do cash like that with a lot of productions I start on, and he'll finish it and make it like that Grammy nominated sound that everybody in the whole world loves because that's his sound. Like I'm trying to grow into that sound, you know what I'm saying? So
He the Dub that. Hey, for real. He started, he the brains. He gonna push you. He gonna be like, hey, we gotta do this. We gotta, hey, Dub is that guy. And we've been locked in since.
I met Hurricane
Chris. Like we met each other through Hurricane Chris.
That's right. Yeah.
So ever since then in my basement, like I used to work with Hurricane Chris separate from Dub. And then one day Hurricane Chris brought Dub to my house, to my basement. And since then, me and Dub been locked in since like 2017 or something like that. So we've been locked in, or 16, and we've been locked in ever since. So we got a shout out to Hurricane Chris. We only got positive stuff. Like I never experienced nothing negative about Chris. You know what I'm saying?
None of that.
And the record that we did now, that was a genius move. Saying, all right, we're gonna capitalize on the momentum these young kids put together on TikTok on the app. All right, let's make a record behind. That's separate. You feel me? Everybody got to get respect for each individual situation. Man, we salute y'all. Yeah, you did the dance. I put this mashup together. Bam, now we're going to take it and make it a hit. What did Jay-Z say? Y'all made it a hot line, we made it a hot song. So that's what we're doing. We taking the record and we taking it to the next level. You feel me?
For sure. It is really that simple at the end
That's
of the
it.
day.
That's the end of it.
Nah, period. Well, again, like I said, I commend y'all for capitalizing off the moment. You know, I think that was a beautiful look for him. Also, too, is that's important to have producers that understand you and your sound, because you know, a lot of times artists ain't gonna understand, like, well, this is why we need to go with this record, because they like what they like. And, you know, kind of speaking of records and stuff like that, like, if you follow Hurricane Chris, he ain't never really stopped. But I want y'all to address the falling
That's a
off
good one.
claims as well as Joe Budden's remarks.
Let me get that one.
About him
Let me get Joe. I've been talking about that Joe since Migos dropped that Culture album. Look, Joe, you haven't did your research. Buttons, I seen you on my page and my stories. I've been reaching out to you. We'll pull up to your show. We can talk about it. But you've been saying a lot of controversial stuff, and you couldn't have done the research that you're supposed to do.
Ain't no way in hell.
You couldn't have done the research because we've been dropping records since I met Hurricane Chris.
Facts.
2015, 16 when I met Doug.
Bro,
We've been
look.
dropping records with Hurricane Chris. They might not have been on a major level as far as a label independent, but he's been dropping records. And if you did any research, you would have seen the records that this man put out, that we put out. We produced the shit. You feel me?
From Instagram, and like, look, I did a whole project with Hurricane Chris that Double XL
Crazy.
did a write up on.
Crazy. Stupid, B.
What's the homie name that run that's with Cash Money besides Birdman? Not Slim. What's his name?
I know what you're talking about.
What's his name? Man, I feel bad for not saying it.
Mac
Mac Main.
Yeah.
He was like, man, this is one of the hardest tapes I've ever heard from Hurricane Chris. Like, we went to Florida. We done did so many shows and interviews behind that tape from Double XL writing up. Vlad, everybody shouted it out. There's no way in hell, you could say that man ain't put out no records since 10 years ago. Ain't no motherfucking way. Like, all the work we've been putting in, ain't no way. And especially with all the major blogs that have been supporting what we've been doing. There's no way. Especially when the last video I had set him up with Off the Block, Chris Brown just did Off the Block freestyle.
Oh, shout out for Shooters Only. Hell yeah.
Man, my boy AZ, hey,
Off the
shout
block.
out to him. I texting him like, bro, we ready to spin the block. But anyways, we did that, 1 million views. We did a record before that somehow World Star named it Kodak Black This, and I recorded that whole song before him and Kodak even got into it. That hit 3 million views. Like, come on, bro. Like, I got respect for Joe Budden and his group with Royce the 5'9" and Eminem. I respect the hip hop community because, like I said, I'm from up. All my family's from up that way. But at the end of the day, don't disrespect young Hurricane Chris by trying to say he ain't put out records in 10 years. That's just foo-foo information, my boy.
Yeah.
You crazy.
You ain't put no record out since Pump It Up. But look, you know, if you want another hit, come holler at us.
At the end of the day, my boy.
That's what you need to do.
Simple and plain.
Okay. Well, you mentioned the Kodak situation. What exactly happened with that?
So basically, Kodak disrespected Lil Wayne, and he was playing, and a Hurricane addressed this on Vlad. I was with him during the Vlad interview. He addressed it the best way he could, and it was the only way he could, really. I mean, he pretty much told them they was playing, and they was playing. Like, we never took that serious. And so we made a record called Don't Play Me, and we did that record in the middle of making his project Hurricane Season that I told you was on XXL and etc. We was in the middle of doing that, and that record came about, and it was dope. We shot a video to it. He shot it back in Louisiana, where he from, and then he was dealing with a certain management crew at the time, and he had them submit it to World Star, and they put it up on their YouTube account as Kodak Black Disc. But if you a real musician or hip hop head, or you pay attention to lyrics, if you actually listen to the song, he ain't say nothing, not one thing toward Kodak Black. Like, the way I grew up, where he grew up, if we talking to somebody, nigga, I'm talking to you, nigga, and I'm gonna say your motherfucking name, nigga. Like, I grew up from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Like, we gonna say your name, and we gonna let you know what it is. But at the end of the day, that wasn't no diss. It was a dope song me and him did in his house he had bought out here at that time, before he got his new one, and we just made some dope music, and it got displayed the wrong way. But it started from Hurricane joking with him on YouTube, like, hey, don't talk about my boy Wayne, I'll fight you about that. And they was playing, and he went in the boxing gym playing, and it was all, and Kodak was in the pool talking about some hey baby. It was a joke, like, it wasn't serious. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. And I wanted to ask y'all, you know, what's some tips that y'all would give people, especially OG artists, when they music goes viral, to capitalize off the moment? And like I said, I got to give y'all flowers again for doing a great job with capitalizing off this moment. But what's some tips and advice that you would give some OGs that might not know what to do?
OGs that might not know what to do with a viral moment that may come about, such as the TikTok dance?
Correct, especially when it's a situation like this. I understand y'all been working for a while, but to people that might not see that, they might be like, well, Hurricane Chris, he ain't been working, but he back, you know, hot now. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Well, to young OGs or OGs that may have a situation like this, such maybe Joe Budden one day will have somebody pump it up and retwang that. And if they do,
nice record.
And if they do, I wouldn't do what I wouldn't do what he did. I would capitalize, but I wouldn't do what he did, meaning I wouldn't disrespect anybody that has anything to do with it. I wouldn't speak on none of that. I would just capitalize off of it, try to include everybody. If nobody try to swing their titties on you or swing their nuts on you, I would try to include everybody and make it all a family-oriented type deal. And at the end of the day, the word is capitalize.
Yes.
And do proper business and make sure everybody plays a respectful position to make it work. And at the end of the day, that's what's important, is everybody play their position. Everybody can't be the front man. You know, it might be a driver, it might be a person that irons your clothes, it might be a person that do it, whatever the case may be. So everybody got to play their position in order to be successful. Right. So I would say capitalize off of it at any moment that it's available to capitalize.
And some people might not want to take like the approach that we did and do a whole song to it. Like, if somebody just get resurfaced, you can shout them out, you know, give them pay them their respect for re-blasting their record or putting them back on the forefront, because those records are gonna take care of their kids. You know, they get publishing and royalties for that forever.
And people that sample, you need to understand you do not own shit. Shit. You don't own a motherfucking thing. So at the end of the day, the people that originally created that shit, show them the respect. Give them their flowers. Let them know, yo, I think you're dope. And I appreciate you for making what you made for me to be able to sample what you made. It's as simple as that.
Shout out to Raphael Sadiq. He said he wants some certified gear, so hit me up.
And I chopped it up with him at LA Reed's event, you know, and he's dope. He's humble. You know, and I look forward to chopping it up with him again. You know, I don't know his take on everything, but I'm pretty sure knowing the good person he was and the vibes he gave off, he's just with whatever makes sense for everybody. He an OG, and he seemed like he respect all of the young guys making music. But at the end of the day, you cannot say you own something and ask for and make the original creators try to ask you for permission to put out some shit that you stole from them.
That's where you went wrong.
Not even stole, but took from them. So it's like you can't do that. That's just not. It's not right at the end of the day. So you gotta humble yourself. Always remember what's going on. And these people, the same way you took your time to sample their stuff is the same way they took their time to make the original stuff that you sampled, even longer to make it. So that's wrong. Period. At the end of the day,
that's right.
That's whack. You don't do nothing like that.
Nah, respect, fellas. Hell yeah.
Sure.
Nah, but this has been dope, man. I really appreciate y'all for coming through and clearing the air and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I think this is an important lesson for all artists, creators, and producers
And
as well.
one last thing, we ain't steal shit from nobody.
No.
Because we're gonna pay, and I've reached out to Kia, like I've mentioned, you know what I'm saying, to be able to try to include her. And it's not her saying we stole something from her. It's a lot of her Jersey fans and a lot of people that's saying that's her beat and all of that stuff. I took my time out with Cash Clay Beats to make a whole nother structured beat to get Hurricane to like it and to get it at his tempo where he's comfortable to flow on it. That's something that me and Cash did. We didn't steal nothing from nobody. She did have the original idea to take the Tony sample and the other DJs on it, but that does not mean she's the original creator of anything. It was her idea, and we thought it was dope. We wanted to include her. Something went sour from her and her ego and whatever the case may be, but we didn't steal nothing from nobody. Them is my original drums that I programmed with Cash Clay Beats and arranged with the sample at the end of the day.
Period.
That's it.
So what's coming up next for y'all?
We out of here. Everything.
Right now, I'm working with a lot of dope artists. One, YFM Ray. We got a dope record with YSL Umfunk.
Oh yeah.
And I know YSL is going through a lot right now, and I pray that all of that balances out to where those guys get what they deserve as far as being free and you know being able to get back to their families and be happy and have their families happy. But I do have a record with YFM Ray. I've been working with him a lot with Umfunk, and I'm about to release that. I just got the record mastered. And we've been working with a lot of people.
We got a lot of unreleased records too. Yeah, D.O.B., YFN, Lucci, Free the Guys. We got records with both sides. YSL as well, you know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of records that hadn't been released. We working with Lil Key, shout out Lil Key.
Lil Key, man.
Yeah, 4PF. Lil Baby and the whole
Lil
camp
Key is
over
like damn near like in-house.
Right, that's the fam. That's like my little brother, you know what I'm
No.
saying? So like that's, you know, that's that there. And like you said, B.O.B., the whole camp over there, we got a lot of records with B.O.B. We got over 30 records with B.O.B. And that's come with a lot of features too. So it's when you start working with a couple artists, you really start featuring and you really working with the whole industry. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of records coming out. We got a lot of up and coming artists. Everything.
And I'm working, street certified beat cartel.
We beat cartel.
You see the chain too, you know.
All that.
But I'm working with a lot of artists from my hometown, Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm working with one of my OGs named Zeph Lesson, and like I said, I'm working hard with YFM Ray and Umfunk with that record. So we got a lot going on, and I got an unreleased record with Young Dro that I fucking love.
Oh man,
I'm gonna contact you, boy.
That record's so crazy.
Yeah.
That record crazy. You gotta drop it. We got records with Young Blue. We got a lot of records that they ain't dropped yet. So it's on Tory Lanez. We got records like crazy, and if they drop them, they're gonna be out of here. Each one of them, every single one you just named, all of them out of here.
Especially the Tory Lanez record. That's probably my favorite one.
Crazy, out of there. So I got records with R. Kelly that's never been released. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say that, but
Hey man, he's still a goat, man.
he's still a GOAT. But you know, we should have dropped it before he got out there.
Drop it now.
But anyway, shout out to the guys. Shout out to everybody who support us. Shout out to Rondo holding us down, CEO,
The president of Beat Cartel.
You know, wouldn't be possible for guys like that. You know, that's rocking with us. I want to shout out to my grandma that passed away last year. You know, certified in St. Louis. North Carolina.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to my girl Lisa Tucker, man. My condolences to her mother passing away. You know, my condolences. I went to middle school and high school with her. Nothing but love for you, Lisa. Hold your head. You know I rock with you.
And Soraya got some crazy stuff too. So remember that name. I ain't gonna. She gonna trick you a little bit. She sing and rap, so she remind you of like a Lauryn Hill. So.
Got you.
All right.
Big respect, man. Once again, I appreciate y'all coming through and blessing the platform with y'all story.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the first of many.
The Progress Report.